Hello, fellow humans. My name is Ed,
And my name is Ben, and this is Brown Bear Radio.
the podcast that helps you feel more at homo. We're here to communicate, titillate, and educate,
Because community doesn't happen.
unless you make it. Hi, Ben.
Hey, Ed,
How's it going?
it's going really well today. How about you?
Yes, absolutely lovely. I am visiting Sydney for a week, staying with my bestie, uh, Dan. I'll reveal that his name is Dan. And yeah, we're going to a party at the end of the week. I've got meetups to meet other school community operators, and it makes me happy and excited. I'm like living my own personal dream of like working out of a laptop and an iPad and an iPhone, and just I get to do what I want with my time. And I'm meeting up with 3x clients. Like, went for a swim today. Bloody love it. Also, I bloody love Sydney.
That is brilliant. I love Sydney too. I don't get to visit as often. I too have a bestie down there that I hope to plan on visiting very soon, which would be absolutely amazing. But it
Mardi
would
Gras?
be wonderful. Well, look, I'm not going to lie. Going to try and swing it.
Yes, yes. There's going to be a whole brown bear thing at Mardi Gras. It's going to be so good.
Well, let's see if we can make that happen.
It is definitely happening, just so you know. So you are invited.
Wonderful. As are all of our dear listeners.
Not all of them, actually. If you're not actually involved with brown bear coaching yet, get involved before Mardi Gras,
Yes.
because otherwise, I don't really want to invite you. Like people we don't know are not invited. That's sort of the
Fair
point.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. We love to get to know new people. We always want to invite and welcome new people that are a good fit.
100%.
But yeah, I don't invite anybody to do coaching with me unless they are a great fit. It's not too hard to qualify, but you do have to qualify. So I don't invite strangers. Cool. So
Works for
today's
me.
episode, Ben. Today's episode is all about body image and self comparison and body comparisons. I understand that this is pretty freaking rampant amongst the gays. Although I'm also going to challenge that a little bit today. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about this topic?
Look, I feel like I've got quite a bit of personal experience around this topic, particularly around my own health journey and the reasoning behind it,
Mm,
and just that general self acceptance as well,
mhm,
and finding self worth. And I know that it was a bit that we worked on together when we were
mm,
working
mm.
uh, as coach and client. So I'm also really intrigued to hear about your challenging because I feel like, definitely in our community, the body image and the self comparison and just some of that loathing, self loathing that comes from that comparison is rampant,
Mm, mm.
particularly with some of the digital applications, shall we say, that are used by the community.
Yeah, yeah. Have you heard of the what do you call it? The search feed challenge? Not search feed. You know, on Instagram, if you click the magnifying glass, it
Oh,
basically shows
yes.
you the kind of stuff that you look up. So the challenge is to screenshot that or the first two grids that show up. And if it's full of thirsty thirst traps, then you have to justify or defend yourself.
I will look at mine and I will decide whether or not I need to justify myself before I post anything on school.
Sure. Is your phone handy? You going to do it now?
It's not handy right now, but I will look at it later.
Okay.
That is for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Oh, look, I might send it to you and I'll be like, here's my justification, Ed.
Yeah, fair enough. Please do. I look forward to doing that again on school. That was introduced by my friend and sort of work partner, a fellow school operator called Matt Boyles. He does physical fitness and body stuff. And I love bringing him into Brown Bear School to do special events like he did last week. And yeah, it was his idea to do that challenge because he does a lot of fitness and body stuff with me and without me. Yeah, it was a great idea. And the result at the time on the live call was fascinating and it was really fun for everyone to share. So I too am very much looking forward to having a deeper chat with you because I feel like you're going to have some insights on this that somehow I feel that I personally don't so much. And just us having a discussion about it, I hope that we hit the points that people listening at home really care about. And yeah, I'm ready to dive in. So
Certainly. That sounds like good to me.
excellent. We got a special little segment because you started telling me you had an update since the last episode, and I said, let's talk about it live. So, what
Yes,
happened?
certainly. Well, I've been talking about this podcast with some of my friends, and they've been listening. And one of my friends listened to our last episode on connection, and it just started a really lovely, honest, and deep conversation between the two of us about connection and where our friendship started and where it's led to now. And how we were seeking something that wasn't necessarily getting fulfilled. And it was just a brilliant catalyst to have that deep and honest communication, which I think then fostered more connection since, which is absolutely wonderful.
No,
So
some more openness and more
definitely
honesty.
yeah, so definitely, if you are listening to this podcast and you are resonating with it, share it with your friends and have those conversations because you never know where those conversations will lead and, what might come from it.
Yeah, that's quite nice. Feeling that if someone shared this podcast and the issues that we explore within it, then those people could have a conversation about the podcast and deepen their friendship and connection. That's lovely.
It is.
Was it sexy stuff?
Look, there was a little element of that discussed, I will not lie, but we were mainly talking about, yeah, the connection that we felt and where it's led since then.
Okay, and you were both looking for sort of one thing, but there wasn't really an alignment, and so,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
We
and
were
just being
looking we were
honest
looking for
about it.
something different. Yeah, we were looking for something different and we were honest about it and we went, "This isn't fulfilling what we're looking for," and we pivoted and we're better friends because of it.
Nice, and like no hard feelings, no one's to
None.
blame. There's no need to
Nope,
get upset. Yep, it's not personal.
nothing.
It's just life.
It is, and
Cool.
it was just a wonderful way to have that communication just to as that, prompt.
Yeah, hell yeah. And so it made you guys feel closer and safer and that you know each other better to have that
Yeah,
experience.
exactly.
Nice. Nice. They say a lot of gay men make friends by having sex first, and yeah, that's true.
I
In
don't
my
think that I
experience.
don't think that's untrue. I think it's actually quite common
Very,
in our
very true.
community.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. I believe they call it fuck first. Uh, alrighty. Cool. Anything else you want to add on that topic?
No, not at all. Let's dive right in on about this week's topic.
All right, excellent. Body image and self comparison. So I'm going to ask you questions in a minute, but you're going to ask me a question first.
Certainly. So, like, in regards to this topic, Ed,
Yes.
how do you feel? Like, because like as you said, you're interested in getting my point of
Yep.
view because you feel like I'll have a different experience to you. But I feel like on this topic, particularly, like I feel like everyone's going to have their own individual experience. So I feel like even though you might, have a different experience to me, I think yours is still going to be quite as equally as interesting to me.
Mm, mm. Yes. Okay, excellent. Well, I'm feeling that I will just represent myself and be as honest as I can, because that always tends to lead to the best outcomes in every situation. So for me, when this topic comes up, something that I get nervous about is actually so I have like flubby hips, like I have like a bit of a pear shaped body or muffin tops, you might call it. So from like my ribs up, I actually look what I would call like fairly like naturally muscular and fit and not fat. But if you looked just around my waist, there is a tire around my waist. I don't have a giant belly. I have a regular belly. I'm pretty heavy at the moment. Right now, I'm 104 kilos, and I'm actually slowly but steadily doing some dieting again. I've done diets like several times in my life because I don't want to be what I consider too fat for me. Um, but my hips, I've always been a bit nervous and sensitive about because my body just wants to put fat there, and it does make me look disproportionate compared to other people. So I do have some experience of body comparisons and like shame, fear, feeling crappy about the way my hips look. If I wear a shirt that is too tight, I do get self conscious. Because my hips poke out. But because I'm such a fucking awesome, I've been a life coach for 6 years. I've sorted my entire life out. Um, I don't really care. Like it's no big
Yeah.
deal, but it used to be a big deal, but it really isn't today. And we'll get into different ways we did have a quick chat about that, but so we'll dive into that deeper later, how I'm really comfy with my body today. Um, so that's my personal experience. Um, I'm also aware that, like, apparently this is a huge gay thing. So as a guy that works with gay men and a lot of gay men, and I love gay men, I love learning about them, sharing with them, connecting with them, getting to know them. Um, I'm not sure that I'm bringing a ton of body experiences today. Like, I could count on one hand the number of clients that have had significant body issues, and the one that comes to mind actually isn't you, Ben, but maybe it's a style of my coaching that I haven't really been asking that question or going there with a lot of people, or they're not
Okay.
volunteering it. So maybe I've missed it a little bit, but I'm currently feeling a bit worried that I don't have a lot to offer this episode because I haven't gone very deep with a lot of people about it. But I did go deep with one guy, and I'm gonna share that from like a coaching perspective. And so my last thoughts are generally like, when it comes to body image and comparisons, what it smells like to me after working with hundreds of dudes is it's a gateway to our self, exposure of worried about our own enoughness, our acceptability, our likability, our lovability. Am I good enough? Am I fuckable? Am I wantable? And if you feel that you're too skinny, too fat, too lopsided, too tall, too short, and then you bring in all the sexual stuff and sexual performance and tops and bottoms and all this physical stuff. If I mean, this is just the very honest, life affirming. I was going to say sad, but really, it's just life. Truth. If you are comparing your body and worrying about it a lot, that's simply because you are insecure about yourself, and you could be accepting and loving and supporting yourself better. Please don't take that as a put down anybody, but our ability to tell stories in our head and believe a certain version of reality that says, my body's not right, it's not good enough, they won't like me, they'll reject me, I should feel bad, I should worry about it, I should be insecure, is simply a sign that within yourself, you're not feeling super ready and able to accept and love yourself as you already are, which is a shame. It's something I love to help people do. And I help people do that by realizing there's absolutely no fucking good reason on this planet, in this universe, to reject you and who you are. And that also applies to other people. When is the good time to reject yourself or somebody else, to be cruel, to be mean, to be judgmental? When does it help? When does it support someone? When does it lift you up? When does it lift them up? When does it make you happy and want to hug somebody? Fucking never. So that's why, eliminating judgment and practicing acceptance are two huge cornerstones of the work that we do together. And maybe you'll share how that went for you in your own experience. Um, so yeah, last thing was, I want to tell people, this is a generalist, sentiment from me, but like, chase your own deepest felt self and his body, your body, the body that you feel most right within, not because it's going to impress or please anybody else. Don't do it for them. Please, God, don't do it for them. Do it for you, and you can enjoy the ride. So I and many other people who are overweight are surrounded by Mars bars and McDonald's and KFC and all the wrong things. It's very easy to eat them. They are addictive and delightful, and it's really hard to make good choices in today's society. People aren't. It's not that everybody's lazy and so we're getting fatter. Everyone's getting fatter because our environment is incredibly different, right? And the human is just not evolved to handle with it. Some people, like my partner, just don't have a problem with food or exercise. He's really fit and he finds it relatively easy. And having been with him 11 years now, like, he's come to understand the way I experience food and exercise. I actually quite like exercise quite a lot, but overeating comes very naturally to me.
Oh, amen,
And
friend.
yeah, but enjoying the ride of becoming the way you feel inside, that is a fun thing to do. So if it includes fitness and bulking up, I have a certain aesthetic that I love and want to chase for myself, and I have since I've been a teenager. I'm pretty fit, pretty muscular. I would like to be a little bit more muscular and a bit leaner as well. And I just feel very comfortable, sexy, and alive in my body, and that's why I do that, and I love doing it. So that's me, just to outline everything.
No, I
But,
love that. I love that.
yeah, Yeah.
And like
Awesome.
I know that you've, said that, you might not necessarily have, a huge amount to share, but, and that this might be an area that you've potentially missed with clients. I actually don't necessarily think it is because, like, when you were talking about, it's an area of yourself that you haven't accepted yet, and that being a cornerstone of, what you do with brown bear coaching and even like what you did with me in our sessions,
Mm,
I think it definitely aids in healing that part of where we're at in ourselves. So
mhm.
yeah, I don't think it's necessarily, it might not be a focus, but I think it could just be like one of those secondary flow on effects from all
Oh,
the other,
definitely.
the deeper thing that you work on. And this is the thing that like bubbles to the surface about the whole thing,
Yeah.
if
Do
that
you
makes sense.
feel that do you feel that you either eliminated or massively tackled your judgment? Judgment of others, judgment of self?
I feel like I still slip into old habits and patterns.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Um, it's definitely, I'm not perfect and it's still a definite work for me. And I still have some close friends that, help me when I do get into those thought spirals that we may have mentioned in the episode last week, where my thought spirals
Mm,
have thought spirals.
yep.
But I now have some very good friends around me that help me out with that. And they're very good at, helping ground myself when those thought spirals start to take hold.
Nice, nice. I'm glad to hear that you're still keeping an eye on it. And at the risk of like talking too much about my business and selling myself, I have actually finally, after 5, 6 years, developed an ongoing coaching product. So I'm not gonna like people can graduate with me, but then I'm gonna tell them, hey, if you want to check in once a quarter for a whole year, like that's a thing you can do with me. And here's this document and keep it updated and we'll book in every 3 months and you can have 3 more sessions that you can book at any time you like. If you fall down, if you feel lost, if you're struggling, if you want to revisit any of these topics at any time and have some tune-ups, that's now a product I'm going to be offering to all of my ex-clients and all of my soon-to-be ex-clients. So just in case you're ever interested in doing more coaching, then like you're welcome to, and I would love to see you again. And that goes
Brilliant.
for anybody else listening. Yeah, if you just want to tune up and a check in, and because judgment, right? You can't judge yourself without judging others, and you can't judge others
Exactly.
without judging yourself. If you say, I'm too fat, you're judging other people because it's objective whether or not they're fatter than you. And you could just say, I'm not the body shape and way I wish to be, and leave it at that, right? And
Yeah.
that's completely different. That is going to cause a very different life experience for you. And when you have that realization and you can drop judgment for good, I think you'll feel so much freer and so much lighter. And I do believe that anybody can do it and achieve it for the long term. And hopefully it lasts. But I mean, I get the blessing of working with dudes all the time. So it reminds me of all these great things all the time.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Mm. Would you like to outline anything or shall we jump into the questions?
I reckon let's just jump right in and get personal.
Awesome.
Why
Let's do it.
not?
Let's get personal. Let's get personal, baby. All right. I don't know where that voice came from, to be honest.
I'm not hating
Maybe I'm
it.
just,
Not gonna lie.
oh,
Not
you
hating
like
it.
it?
That was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
That was a good voice.
oh, nice. Maybe I'm just turning it up for the podcast. Alrighty. On this topic, Ben, I was wondering if you would like to explore your body and your body comparison experiences. Go wherever you like, start wherever feels good. Where are we starting?
Alrighty. Can do. So my body and my body comparison. So I was that stereotypical bit of a nerdy teenager. Sport was not my forte in any way, shape, or form. I was not blessed with the coordination gene. I was blessed with the I like to read comic books at lunchtime gene. And I lent into that 110%. So, and all through high school, like, you saw the popular kids in inverted commas were, the ones that had a certain aesthetic and they were on the football team or they were on the soccer team and different things like that. And so you would, that comparison started young and, the I guess for me, like, oh, I'd be more popular or more well liked, or perhaps, the bullying might stop if I was better at this or did that differently. And that, those body comparisons then, that formed in that teenage years, in those formative years, then kind of crept into, well, didn't creep into, bled into, those thought patterns that I had as an adult and looking at people and, as, people were getting partners and girlfriends and boyfriends and, exploring different things and going out clubbing and going out and doing all these, fun and exciting things where I kind of felt like I didn't look good enough to go and do those things. So I was not participating in things that I potentially wanted to do because I felt like I wouldn't necessarily fit in or uh, be good enough to be part of it. And then, that, influenced my decisions and, willingness or confidence to participate in things that would potentially uh, help me achieve, fitness and health related goals. So, like, not feeling confident to go into a gym, that terrified me for the longest time. Being able to feel like I belonged or had the right to be there was a really big thing. And, comparing what I looked like to, the people in my head where I'm like, you have abs. Why are you at the gym? Your time here is done. Like, I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
feel better if you were not there. Um, you know, so I also then, lent into being the funny guy, the funny fat friend. I lent into that as a bit of a way to, like, self-soothe in some way that, oh, I might not be fit or I might not look that way, but, at least I've got a great sense of humor or I'm witty or I can almost fulfill the gay trope or stereotype of being the funny fat guy that's a bit sassy.
mm,
So,
the funny fat
that's
fag.
yeah, exactly. Like, being that person. And so I guess that's where I was at, for a lot of my adult life and having those body comparisons and experiences. And then a few years ago, I had a bit of a moment with my doctor, and he's like, "Hey, Ben, if you don't fix this, you're on track for, some not great things." And so that really kickstarted me. And, I'm now down, I think it's about 35, 40 kilos from where I was. I've done powerlifting and powerlifting competition. I'm, more confident to now enter a gym, and I now attend a gym that specializes and has a bit of a focus on bodybuilding. That in itself has been quite interesting over the last few years, feeling like I belong there and that I
Mm,
can go there. I've come to realize that, no one actually looks at you when you're there at the gym.
yeah,
They're all focused on themselves. And it's
yep,
just you who are like, you're the only one that's like panicking. And they're
yep,
just there. And having, a person that looks a way that you could only dream of coming up to you and being like, dude, I saw you lift that. That's like freaking amazing. Go you, and like cheer you on. And you're like,
yeah.
that for me was like, I'm like, "Oh my god, like, that's really cool." Like, they are really quite an open and welcoming, community of people, even
Can
though
be. Yeah,
in
yeah,
my head,
yeah,
I'm like, "You are legitimately terrifying."
yeah.
So that was yeah, so and as I was saying before, like, I still have those moments where I go, "I'm not good enough. I'm not okay. Like, I wish I could look like this. I wish I could look like that," or "I'm not doing enough," or, you know, "Oh, I fell off the wagon, so, what's the point?" And the self-loathing and that spiraling thought process happens, and it's like, "Well, I'm worth less because of, this or that," or, I'm been rejected on a dating app because of how I looked. And, it's, you get on those apps and you see all of the shirtless photos and all of the abs and all of the, you know, and you just kind of go, well, who's going to want to reply to my message when I look like the way I do? And that thought spot, like, you're rejecting yourself before someone else gets the chance to. So, that self-fulfilling prophecy then kind of occurs. And
Mm.
it's very interesting, like, where this topic takes you in terms of, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I guess that's me and my body comparison
Wow.
experiences.
Jesus Christ, man, that was awesome.
So,
Um, I would say our predictions were true. Like, you have really brought a lot. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 notes here that I'd love to cross check with you. That was really great. Thank you so much for sharing. I can only feel right now that, like, so many listeners at home, Ben, his struggle is with being nerdy and overweight. But this equally applies to anybody who's had any kind of body issue, like, nerdy and too skinny, or sporty but felt too skinny or overweight, or, like, wow. I'm very, very, very
Yeah.
impressed. Thank you. Thank
Like,
you for
that's
sharing and
that's
bringing
my
all of that.
very, like, that's a very focused lens in my personal experience, but, like, definitely what you've said, there's always that wider lens in terms of, like, as you said, not feeling like you're muscular enough, feeling like you're too skinny, feeling like you're
Yeah.
too bulky. Like, there's
Yep.
and
Yep.
like, even that talk about, like, even when I lost the weight, there was always I'd look in the mirror and go, "Yeah, but I don't like that bit."
Yep.
Like, you
It's
focus
much
so
it's not
quickly
just
on
the
the
fat.
negative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah, yeah.
yep,
It's not
that
just the
bit's
fat,
that
it's your mind, it's your feelings, it's your sense of
yes,
self-identity. Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Because there's very happy-go-lucky, free-feeling fat and skinny people out there, right? With,
Oh, exactly.
objectively not standard attractive bodies, by the standard social metrics of magazines and whatever.
Exactly. Yep.
There are people that have those bodies that have absolutely no personal problems and are super fine with it, and they don't even really think about it. It's just not a problem in their life. Um, and then there's the opposite. So there's guys that you and I would look at and go, "Fuck, that guy's really fit. Like, how the fuck?" Um, but then we might talk to him, and he'll actually reveal, "I cannot grow. I'm fucking puny. Like, this
Yeah,
sucks. I'm considering steroids. Like, I'm completely unfuckable. I'll never fit in my, I don't know, puppy sex dungeon club." Um, you
that's
know,
it. Like,
yeah.
everyone has their little thing that's going on in their world that we don't know
Definitely.
about.
So it's not about your body, it's about your sense of self-identity and the way you relate to yourself in comparison to the world, and, the stories that you'll allow yourself to accept and repeat in your head, and where your focus is. And if your focus is on "I'm not enough, I lack, I need to prove it, I need more," yeah, I mean, let's just put it this way, I'd love to work with you. I want to cross-reference a couple of things with you.
Go for
It
it.
sounds like it at the start of your story, right? You were talking about high school and the being bullied and associating that with feeling uncoordinated. Um, and did that bleed into, when you look at your body, it reminds you of all these things that compound into a sense of "I'm not right, I'm not good, I don't belong, I'm
Yeah,
less than." Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. And then
100%.
that sort of accidentally formed a sense of self-identity that was very self-defeating.
Yes. Yeah, very much
Yeah,
so. Particularly, like, in that realm of, attributing being, good at sport to being then, worth something. Like,
yeah,
I knew that I was, intelligent enough to, I still worked hard at school to achieve the grades that I did, but, I wasn't, dux of the school or anything like that. But it was, yeah, I was like, it definitely framed a lot of confidence in that area. It did bleed into other parts, but yeah, that was probably a main focus of it while I was there, and
y
definitely bled
yeah,
into that what you were mentioning, that self identity and that creation.
yep. You might have even noticed that you strived in other areas to sort of prove yourself. This is very common amongst the gays. We are strivers and,
Yes.
like, good boys and people pleasers, because all of these are acts of compensation that says, "I lack, I'm wrong, I'm not as I should be, I have a deficit, therefore I need to fix that." And it's simply not true. But we believe it, and we believe it deeply and very internally. And we don't, sometimes we're not even aware of it. We don't question it, and that just results in many self rejecting, self defeating habits, excess judgment, hyper self consciousness. Yeah, we're into it. We're right into all the shit
Oh,
now.
100%.
Yep. My next note was "look good enough." This was for clubbing, right? It's amazing to watch it
Yeah,
come out in people that you didn't let yourself do things that you might have fucking loved, like dancing, music, night clubbing, social sports, not serious competitive sports. Or maybe
yeah,
you do like serious competitive sports. I mean, you found lifting and you really loved that.
yeah,
Like, you
that's it.
genuinely actually like it, right? It's not just
Yeah,
like, "Oh, I'm gonna get real thick and swole and then punch some bully's head in," right? You like it.
I do. I've discovered that
Right,
in the, yeah, most recent years, yeah, and so but
right,
at school, it was offered, but I looked at the people doing it and I went, "Oh, there's no way I could do that."
right. So what my point here is, your feelings and your sense of self-identity and your stories ultimately made you turn away from many, many, many things that do
Oh,
align with you and that you would love to have in your life.
100%.
Yeah, look out, anxiety, depression. When your
Yeah.
life is truly not the way your inner self wants it to be, don't be surprised when you get anxiety and depression. If you can transform your life to look more the way your inner heart of hearts truly wishes for it to be, and that requires that you feel and know and are connected to, not rejecting your inner self and your heart of hearts, yeah, you can, yeah, bust yourself out of many funks and get into loving your life.
And I think
It's a shame.
the no, and I love that, and I think, definitely what we worked on was finding, that inner heart of hearts and what Ben, like, truly wanted and liked, because, as you
Yeah,
said, being people pleasers and having that shame and that self-protective nature that we sometimes take on, we lose those parts of ourselves, and we don't always necessarily know which bit is what. Well, I know I said it to you, which part was
yeah,
me, and then which part was what I did to be accepted or fit in or,
yep, yep.
feel safe in a
Front,
space.
mask. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Pretend, performance. This is also why gays have a huge thing about authenticity, because this whole process causes us to try to reject ourselves and become a version of ourselves that we think people will like. And that is literally inauthenticity.
Yeah,
And it just all
exactly.
that stems back to shame. And yeah, you can do it from a body perspective. It just reminds me, like, I just want to say this out loud real quick. Like, the work that I do with people that you've done with me, Ben, isn't just for the gays. I just make it gay for us
Yeah,
deliberately. But it's completely universal and humanly applicable to basically everybody.
exactly.
Huge congrats on your massive weight loss. Do you have anything you'd like
Thank
to
you.
say about that to anybody? Like, you were on track for what? Diabetes, heart
Oh, you
disease?
you name it, on track for non-alcoholic fatty liver, diabetes, the and anything and everything coronary. Like, yeah, it was. Look, it.
Yeah.
I was I was starting down the path. Like, it was, the doctor was just very upfront and was like, "Look, this is where you're going. And if you keep going, you're going to go further and further down that path, and it's going to be harder to come back. Or,
Yep.
or something big will happen, and we don't know when down the
Yep.
path that thing will happen, but
Yep.
we just know it will." And that was honestly the kick up the ass that I needed to be like, right, this is,
Yeah.
I've got to do it for me. At that point, it was for me, which I think is what was the bit of the light switch, that it was no longer about
Yes.
anyone else. It was,
Yes.
well, what do I
Not
want?
compensation, but alignment, right?
Yeah. And it was like, well, what do I want? Like, what is it that
Yeah.
I'm going to do? So yeah, that was, and it was, and having that focus, that, and at times, I won't lie, like, on the journey, you do lose that focus and the comparisons kick in. But, trying to, when working with you and, working with, watching your thoughts and everything else like that, and realizing that you go, no, no, that doesn't serve me. I'm doing it for me. I don't need to look at others. Like, just having the mindfulness to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yep, and the self-awareness to not indulge in
Yeah.
self-defeating behaviors too much without just confronting them and saying, "Why am I doing this? Where is this coming from?"
Yeah.
Nice one. So you fell in love with lifting. Did you say you won competitions and stuff?
Oh, I did not win. I entered a powerlifting competition.
Oh, see, that's
Um,
still fucking huge. That's so
so
cool.
yeah, I loved it. Like, I had some great coaches around me and some great support from family and friends, and look, even though I,
What did you lift? Sorry,
what did
sorry.
I lift at the time? I think at the time I was doing deadlift at 130 kilos, bench press was 90 kilos, and squat was 130 kilos or something like that,
Nice.
was what I was lifting. And, like, you know what? For someone who'd never picked up a weight, 18 months previous to that, and what I loved about the powerlifting was that it was you versus you. It didn't
Yeah.
matter that there were other guys there, that what I lifted as my 1 rep max was, their warm up weight. They
Yeah.
cheered just as loud for me as other people were cheering for them, because it was
Yes.
amazing that you did that thing for you.
I just want people to
Which
know, 130 kilograms, 286 pounds. So that was your deadlift and your squat. and
Yeah.
your bench was 90, so that's 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you put that in freedom units because I'm rubbish at conversion.
Fucking
Y
freedom units. Fucking derp units. Um, get with the program. Metric. No, I love you, Americans. Come buy my services. Thank you. I love you. I genuinely do love working with my American clients. It's super fun to be transported around the world and share culture and share stories. It is awesome. Your final point brings me back to my final point. I'm super glad to hear that these guys were cheering just as loud for you. I have witnessed that in the gym, but also like I've been in and out of the gym for a long time myself. And when I see someone overweight or looking unsure about themselves, I'm so glad they're there and I'm only happy for them. I've never really gone up to them and been, because it feels inappropriate, but in my heart of hearts, I'm looking at them out of my side eye going, fuck yeah, like get it, like go for it, enjoy this. Like having a body, feeling a
Yeah.
body, working with your body is a lovely, lovely, lovely part of life. It's like sex. Like imagine taking that out of someone's life, it'd be awful. Um, like having a body, feeling your body, lifting weights, it's a wonderful thing. At least that's how I experience it. And I'm only excited and happy for people that quote unquote look like they don't belong. And I promise you, yeah, as we've already said, everyone's obsessed with themselves. Everyone's nervous and insecure about themselves to some degree. And I bet you the very fit people actually really like fitness and are only happy that you're trying and that you're there.
Yep.
The
100%.
vast majority. And if you run across some actually toxic cunt, fuck him. Just be glad that they're a toxic cunt and they have to live with themselves if
Yeah,
they are really mean to
they're
you.
not they're
If
not in
if they
your
attack
world,
you,
they're
just
not
be
in
like,
your
whoa,
bubble.
yeah, wow, yeah, I'd hate to be you, man. Fuck off. Like, fuck you. I don't care if you insult me. Your life's clearly terrible if you're gonna treat me like that. Awesome. Ben,
Yes.
have other people had an issue with themselves in front of you or with you or in bed with you?
I
or
think one of the one of the ones that this question brought up for me when we were talking about it in prep was, I once went on a date with a guy while I was living, overseas, and so didn't know anyone, so, using the apps to find connection, have dates, whatnot, and so,
yeah, where
uh,
were you living?
I was living in London at the time, so living in the
Sweet,
UK,
sweet. Yeah.
and,
UK, in it.
and the UK in it. And so then I'm there and messaged, met up. And so my profile, it's always up to date photos. It's, face, generally, body down to, at least knees, at least in one photo. They know what they're getting. Like it's
You
not a
share.
surprise.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
and it's like, in terms of like fully clothed, it's not a surprise. But he rocked up. We were going to meet at a pub, rocked up at the pub. He saw me and looked me up and down and went, "This isn't going to work," and then left.
Oh.
And look, at the time, like now I can giggle about it and
Mm,
share that story. But,
mm,
at the time it was, incredibly demoralizing where I've just gone and,
yeah,
the thought spiral begins going, you know, I told you so. You're, unlovable. You can't get a
yeah,
date. Like you've been rejected just by someone looking at you.
yeah.
And you know what? Their loss. I'm a wonderful, hilarious human. And I'm incredibly kind and I am compassionate and I'm intelligent. And their loss,
And
they've
sexy.
well, there we go, thank you. And, but, like, it was the rubbish taking itself out, but
Ooh,
it's
zing.
well, am I wrong?
Yes.
So,
No, you're right. I mean, the
and
guy's not rubbish, right? But his
no,
behavior
but the
either is
behavior
rubbish.
was.
If it was judgmental and shallow, then that's kind of rubbish behavior. But if somehow he saw all your photos and was like, maybe, but then in real life he had this gut feeling, like maybe he had a very sinking feeling, is like, I'm only going to disappoint this person.
Well, that's it, like,
Maybe
I
he
don't know
was
what was
like,
going through their head,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but at the time, Ben was like, "Oh my gosh, it's because of my physicality."
Of
Um,
course.
you know,
We always
so
look. we always look to our own insecurities first to
Oh,
make, evidence for why people have let us down or why things have gone wrong. And we don't
exactly.
know if that's true, but it's a strong habit.
So, yeah, that's probably the one story I have in regards to, that part of the question would be, having a
Nice.
person having an issue with me in front of me.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
quite more in front of you than that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Last one. Uh, Are you happy with your body? And we're going to ask this question through the lens of going to, say, gay saunas or Japanese onsen or communal baths of any culture. On Grinder, you've answered that, but maybe you can elaborate. And also change rooms, pool change rooms, rec facilities, gyms. How do you go in those areas? Are you happy with your body?
I No, in regards to that, definitely still a work in progress. So, like, I've traveled, I've been to, the Turkish bathhouse, and it is honest to goodness the most uncomfortable I've probably ever been in my life. I've never attended a sauna. Again, I have probably built it up to be this big thing in my head that, again,
Yep.
I don't look the way I should look to attend, because honestly, when you see, the promotional, material for it,
Yep.
there's no one who looks like me in the images. So why would I
No.
feel like I can go there?
Yeah.
And change rooms and things like that, I spend as little time as possible in them. I have it down to an art if I need to use them to get in and out and changed. There is no dilly-dallying. It is just in, out, done.
I'm actually wearing my shirt that has a teddy bear on a bicycle with little glimmer things, little sparkles, and it says "Born to dilly dally, forced to get a wriggle on."
Yeah, well, look, I wriggle on so quickly. There is no dilly nor dally. Like, it is, we are in and out. Like, so
Right,
look,
gotcha.
it is a work in progress. Like, I'm
Well,
still
is this a problem? Do you care? Like, so are you saying you do care actually, and you'd like to feel more
I
comfortable
wouldn't,
and you'd like to take your time?
not that I wouldn't say that I'm losing sleep or that I'm entering into a thought spiral about it.
Yep.
Look, would I like to, be less self-conscious, or, feeling like I'm being, not in my own head while in there? Yes, that'd be great. Um, Look, I've traveled, and, I didn't go to an onsen when I was in Japan.
You avoided it?
Like the plague. There
Okay.
was
Yeah.
no way on God's green earth. Now, I was on a tour, and, like, the onsen experience was on day, like, 2. And I'm like, "Nope, I do not know you all well enough for that business to occur."
Yep.
So when I have to spend the next 13 days with you, in my head, and you all judging me for the fat rolls and the stretch marks and the whatever else is going on, and I'm like, "No, thank
Yeah.
you. 0
Yeah.
stars. No, not
Yeah.
required for the next 2 weeks."
Oh. Oh.
Um, but would I go back now and on my own visit one? I think I probably would. If I,
Mm.
was traveling, on my own, I'd probably find an onsen that was open at 2 in the morning and give it a crack while there was no one there, just to
And they're awesome.
prove that I could do it.
Yeah,
So,
nice.
but yeah, that's,
Nice.
me in a nutshell.
Awesome. Again, wonderful sharing, Ben. Thank you. Thanks for really
No
going
problem.
there. Like, you're successfully painting a very clear picture of what it is like in your experience, and I really
Well,
appreciate it.
look, I'm glad, because, you might need a map for my brain sometimes, I tell you. It's a bit of an adventure. Dora the Explorer would need her little map, that's for sure. But,
Okay.
Ed, I'd
Okay.
love to explore those same questions with you, like, particularly about, your body and your body comparison experiences. Like, when or if has that happened for you?
Yep. And I will. I promise that I will because
Oh,
that's why I'm
oh,
here on the podcast. Can I just quickly ask? in change rooms or in saunas or like gay saunas or onsen or on grinder, do you ever see other big boys or the beach with a shirt off kind of thing?
Uh, so on the apps, yes, definitely, because, I mean, there are the apps out there like Scruff that are, you know,
Growler,
designed for,
bearish,
bearish gentlemen,
chubs,
or, gentlemen
husky
who
gentlemen.
appreciate that physique.
Oh yeah, and they're
Uh,
out there.
oh, they are. They definitely 110% are. I do
Actually, do they
remember,
find you? I don't consider you that big, but maybe, we don't meet in real life a lot. Do you get chubby chases?
I don't have them chase me. No,
Do you
I
chase them?
wouldn't.
What? You chase the chubby chasers?
No, no, I'm not saying they're not messaging me. Um,
Ah, okay.
yeah, they're not seeking me out if that's what you mean. But like in terms of beaches and things like that, I'm actually becoming more comfortable about going to the beach. So like I
Yeah.
had last year for the very first time in my life, I was shirtless at a beach with people that I knew.
Yay.
Which I'm 37 years old and I have never once done that in my life.
Yeah.
So
Did you like
and
it? Was that important to you? Did it matter?
it it was a milestone to be like, "Oh, and guess what, Ed? The sky didn't fall down. No
Yeah, I
one pointed at
survived.
me. No
Maybe it does
one
matter to you then.
no one made a comment." Like, in my head, it was, a big thing, and the people I were with were like, "Ben, this don't matter. Just get in the
Yeah.
water. No one gives two rats. Like,
Yep.
just do it." And yeah, it was brilliant, and, it felt incredibly liberating and things like that. So
Nice.
I was like, "Oh,
Okay,
that's pretty
good.
cool."
Yep. Okay, great.
So,
Well, I'm
yeah.
glad I asked then, and I'm glad you shared some more because, I didn't want to presume that there's no like you need to or you should achieve any particular milestone other than those that. Oh, hello, lunch. It's coming back. Other any milestone other than ones that you actually care about, and not out
Yeah.
of like, I must avenge myself and prove that I can have a beach bod. No, but
No.
like if you want to experience that, if you hope that you do for your own reasons, then that makes it a personal milestone. So that makes it
Yeah.
exciting. So yeah, and you're willing to go back to the onsen. I think all these dominoes might start falling down. And I want to tell you, I have seen lots of big boys in gay saunas. I have
There you
seen
go.
even more big boys. Hello, sumo, in
Uh,
onsen in Japan.
fair.
Um, yeah, and there's some big boys in Japan too. So, yep. And yeah, I see big guys on Grinder. And change rooms. I don't know. I swim a fair bit. It's pretty rare actually that you get a proper big boy swimming. Yeah, I don't see a lot in change rooms, and the
There
change
you
rooms
go.
I mean are usually at pools. Yeah. Anyway, that's by the by. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to reference those things with you. So thank you.
Not a
Me,
problem.
my body
You
and my body comparisons experiences. Um. Yeah. No, not a lot. Like I don't
fair.
know what to say. I think we should just. If I can't find something useful to say, I'm not going to waffle.
No.
I I was a chubby kid. I'm a bit chubby today. I don't really care. Next question.
Awesome. Okay, well, have other people had an issue with themselves in front of you or with you in front of you?
Not so much, but a little bit. Um, I can't think of any particular story, but funnily enough, there's a tangential story. I don't know if I've told it on the podcast yet, but I was in bed with one guy. This is not a body issue. This is just a fun story because I'm feeling sheepish about not having a lot to share. But I do have
Oh,
more on the next question. Promise. Um, I had a hookup with this guy. My sister actually knew him, and she was like, "Don't date that guy. He's weird." And anyway, in the sort of post-orgasmic bliss, while things were still drying on our chest, mutually, he
wonderful.
said, "Hey, Ed, do you want to have kids?" And I was like, I suppose I haven't really thought about it. I was like 20, 21. And he's like, "Yeah, I do." I was like, "Oh, okay. Okay." And he goes, "I know a couple of lesbians, like they're really keen." And I was like, "Oh,
D
well, anyway, I guess it's about time I headed home." Like, I felt
Oh my
really
lord.
uncomfortable. Really, really, really. It was really pointed. and it was about 5 seconds after orgasm.
Oh my
and
gosh.
yeah, that wasn't the only weird thing he did, and my sister was totally right. So the moral of the story is listen to your sisters about your dating
Listen
life.
listen to your sister, 100% do that.
Thank
Love
you.
that.
Thank you for letting me share
Well,
that one.
okay. No,
Yep.
love it. I'm not gonna lie, I always enjoy your tangential stories. They
Especially
they
when they're
like,
sexy.
look, they're great. They're great. I love them. So
Thanks.
now, well, you said you had something else to share with us in regards to being happy with your body. Like, I'd love to hear about that.
Yes, thank you. So when I was 14 turning 15, I did 1 year student exchange in Japan, which is fucking epic. It totally changed like who I am and how I live, and my mum reports not really recognizing me as the same person when I got back. So I'm not surprised. But part of that trip, I was introduced to onsen, and at first I was like, "Oh, I'm very nervous. This is strange," and like I was 14, right? But I had like a huge bush of pubes. So like the thing I was nervous about. Also, I got very fit in Japan because I rode to school for like over an hour there and back every day. And we also did kendo, which I eventually became a third black belt in kendo, which is Japanese sword fighting.
Ooh.
But I got my first black belt within 9 months in Japan at high school. And we had to do, it's called club, like after school club activities. We had to do club 5 and sometimes 6 times a week. And there were also tournaments and stuff. Like, so I was doing tons of exercise. And my host family was, Japanese. So we just had regular food. I had a lot of their food, but I got quite slim and fit, and I was very happy with my body at the time. It was great. So I wasn't worried about my flubby bits. I was worried about my huge bush and that I was like 14, 15, and how people would think about my like gangly, strange teenage body. And I was white in Japan. But I'd gone to Japan fully expecting this, and I was aware of onsen, and I fucking loved it. Take away the naked men for a second. Um, the baths, the scented baths, the themed baths, like some are giant pots that you get in so that they overflow when you get in, and you're meant to enjoy the creating an overflow experience. Fucking gorgeous. The rising
Wow.
steam, the scented wet saunas. So they'll do like eucalyptus or like other lovely smells and flavors. The place we went to, I've been to a lot of onsens in Japan because I went back again later for another year. But that one, whatever, I don't know, I was 14, 15, so some of the memories are a bit hard to recall and the specifics are hard to recall. But whatever country onsen we went to was amazing. It was open to the outside air and the sky. There were these rock beds that you could lie on that were flat with like little wavy patterns and little rock pillows, and the water would cascade down them, so they were super warm and steamy, and you'd lie on them naked. Absolutely gorgeous. A strange but interesting experience I had was this like granddad laid down, and his grandchild, who must have been like 3 or 4, was there. And this is actually apparently very normal in Japan. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z confirmed this for me, that they put their grandchildren in their lap and they like rest back, and their head like rests on the granddad or dad's genitals, which is like weird, but they do it. So cool. It must feel very cozy and intimate to a child, I guess. But yeah, that happened on a rock bed. That's a
Wow.
particular memory. Yeah, a cultural experience. Um, Dude, there's so many cool baths. There's like electroshock therapy baths. There are dry saunas, and this is a big culture in Japan. So like other people
Yeah.
weren't being weird, and so I was like, okay, cool. Maybe I can fit in. Maybe I can belong, which was what I now call my major mistake of my early Japan experiences. My advice to people now is do not try to fit in. Just enjoy the I don't fit in experience, if you
Yeah.
can. But it's Japan is massively becoming more international now. I think largely due to the declining birth rate. They know their country will explode economically if they don't bring in more foreigners, and they are. And I haven't
Yeah.
been lately, but I hear that Japan is actually getting a ton of foreigners, including a lot of other Asians, in. So it's changing very rapidly. Um, but yeah, that is when I began to fall in love with like nudism. The feeling of being around other human beings that were not being judgmental, were not being cunty, the comradeship and the okayness. Like I probably for the first time ever truly felt safe and okay in my whole body, in my gangly teenage huge bush of pubes that I was kind of proud of, but kind of embarrassed about. Um, It was transformative, and I realized from then on, like, because my mum had always been good about this. Actually, she'd always said, "Your body's your body." My mum had always said things like, "I don't know why we filter sex on TV, but we allow so much violence, and like we promote violence before we'll
Wow.
promote nudity." And my mum's a big girl as well, always has been her whole life. And I those messages though stuck with me. And then so those things combined, and I was like, great, I'm now cool with nakedness, like just probably forever. I mean, my high school change rooms didn't feel safe, but that's
No,
another thing. That
no,
was because there were
that's a
literally
different
bullies
story
in there
altogether.
threatening to punch. We would punch each other in the arms and act like monkeys, and there was a shower, but everyone would get like fully taken the piss out of if you even went near the shower. But apparently back in the day, because gays didn't exist or it was never spoken about, there was no like gay panic danger. So
No,
I get a bit jealous of like classes back in the day where kids would just be able to shower and it was normal. Um, I wish that was the case because I really could have used a shower in high school because I was a stinky, stinky boy. Stinky boy. Saunas, gay saunas. I like them. I enjoy them. I use them sometimes. And I see a lot of guys there. I love chatting to people in the spa. And then if we hit it off in the spa and have a good chat, then I'll go have sex with them. It's great. Um, Onsen, yep, love it. Go there as much as I can. I generally like nudity as well. Like, there's actually a small nudist beach in the small town that I live in now. It's a beachside town in Australia. Um, I go there like maybe once a week when the weather's good. I'll do my workouts. There's usually no one else ever there. I think I did share a story of a slight sexy experience last time, which made you cringe or get worried.
a little
I
bit,
remember
a
that.
little bit.
Yep. Then oh, sorry, I might have dropped out for a sec because my computer tried to shut down. Yeah, no, I just really like nudity now. I really like nakedness. I slightly resent that other people don't feel more comfortable with their bodies and bodies and stuff generally because I don't mind talking about it. I don't mind doing it, and I want other people to feel comfortable, safe, and happy in their bodies, and I want them to sort of feel and know that I'm not judging them and their body's their body, and that's absolutely okay with me. And I want that to like invade the culture and permeate through the peoples, so that we can all just have bodies and be cool about it. I always was jealous as a kid. I was like, Europeans don't seem to have these hang-ups about sex and stuff. Did you ever get that vibe that like somehow Germans were really okay with nudity? And those late night
Yes.
shows on the SBS TV and everyone's always fucking
Or
naked and it was no big
when I
deal?
was over in Germany and it's just like, "Yeah, this be a thing." And I'm like, "Oh my lord, this is a thing." Like,
Yeah.
wild.
The bathroom that had not had I was in Germany for a bit. I did like 4 months, backpacking and being a willing worker on organic farms called woofing. I think it's called Worldwide Opportunities on Organic Farms now. Anyway, host mum had cancer, needed help with the garden. I was there. I got a shower one day. There's this giant, like, body length mirror basically opposite that goes just down below waist height that leads to the outside garden. And one day I realized the first day and she was out there somewhere doing some gardening. I was like, "Oh, there's no curtain. There's just this window and there's no curtain."
Yeah,
Okay,
it's just a thing.
okay. Yeah, and I got jealous. I was like, "Man, I wish my culture, my country felt like this." 'Cause yeah, they're just bodies. When we hide them, we suggest shame, and when we
Yeah,
get all uptight about sex, like, who doesn't do sex? Very few people don't do sex. It's a thing. Let's talk about it. Let's be open about it. Like, why should we do shame? So yeah, that's that. Thanks for listening.
love that.
Any
Well,
any follow-ups? Any questions?
no,
No? I'm
I've
not
got
not
no
expecting
follow-up.
any.
No,
Cool.
I've got no follow-ups, but
Cool.
I love that for you that you have that confidence, and, like, that's something that I, like, honestly would aspire to have just that level of, like, it is what it is, and, I yet like, yeah, that to me seems incredibly foreign and like a far off thing, but definitely would love to have that as, like, the end game in terms of just being like, "I accept me for me, and this is what it is, and I do not particularly have any concerns as to what other people are thinking when they look at me." Like, that would be cool.
Yeah. And if they do, it's their business.
Yeah, that's it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
need to worry about what they think.
yeah. I would like unless they're thinking of hurting you, but you can scan for that.
Yeah.
Um Yeah, we do care what other people think. When people say don't care what other people think, I think it's a sort of it's a bit limited. People should
Yeah.
expand that conversation because we do care what other people think and we can't stop. It's just
No.
yeah, refinding the boundaries. Oh god, there was another point I really wanted to say in response to that. Ah yes. I don't know if this will help or not. With you and everybody listening, I wouldn't it's a bit of a semantics thing, but I wouldn't say I have confidence. I just don't have anti-confidence around this issue.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean? So, like,
Yeah.
don't look at confidence. And here's a bit, I'm saying it like it's advice. Here's what I'm suggesting. Don't chase confidence as if it's a thing to obtain. Chase acceptance and self acceptance and letting go of judgment. And you'll realize that your natural self is naturally confident and you naturally assert
Hmm.
yourself. You might have heard me talk about my two fictional cavemen, gay cavemen friends, Zug and
Yes.
Grug. And Zug's just like, hey, Grug, do you want to fuck? And he's like, oh, I had a hand party with myself this morning. No, thank you. Or he's like, oh, I don't actually find you attractive. I feel that way about Jennifer. No, thank you. Or he says, oh, geez, Zug, like, I'm glad you asked. I'm actually really fucking horny. You want to go fuck over there on that rock? He'd be like, yeah, man. Like, it could be that easy.
Yeah.
Life could be that easy and it's sort of like shame free, but it's also just like judgment free and like your
Yeah.
natural connective, sexual, vibrant, productive, creative, loving self will arise and assert himself when you get out of your own way. But that's actually quite a bit of work.
Yeah, and that's it. And the way I look at it is like, this is for me, it's a work in progress, and I'm, always going to be taking, steps forward, and there might be a step back, but as long as the motion is in a forward trajectory, that's,
Mm,
all I
you
can.
can enjoy the path.
Yeah, I can enjoy. What is it like? You can enjoy the journey, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. So I'm now going to say more coachy things because you triggered me.
I'm sorry.
Yes. No, don't be sorry. Yeah. The journey is all we ever get. Literally, it's
Yeah,
literally all we ever get. The outcomes don't make people happy. Progress makes people happy, and making progress on an aligned journey is the thing that makes us happy with our day-to-day life. It makes us feel
yeah,
passionate and involved and excited, and the opposite of depression. So being life living and getting involved with the living of your life is, I think, should be everybody's highest priority. And you'll discover if you give yourself the time and space, you actually do care and love a lot of things, and you care about a lot of things. And if you let your natural self assert himself, he'll tell you the area of work or occupation or romantic life and connections and friends or activities and hobbies that work best for you. And everybody in total in society manages to make that work because everybody has different preferences and is strong and gifted and aligned with different things, and we make that work. So uh yeah, it's not the destination. Stop thinking I can be happy or I'll be enough when it's
when,
just not the
yeah,
case. It's never going to happen. That is the perpetual rat wheel cycle that a lot of guys are on. And realizing you're enough now, you're okay today, you're
that's
lovable
it.
now, the reason that you question that is insecurity and self-rejection born of shame.
See, I love it when I trigger you. We get some real gems and nuggets. It's great. I need to do it more often.
I've started thinking that that stuff's obvious, but I know that hearing it again and again
No,
and again and hearing it at different times, it lands in different ways. But yeah,
but like honestly, like, I know that you would have told me something similar, if not the exact thing, in our sessions. And, having it there and being reminded is so important because, and there's like, sometimes it seems obvious, but you can't see the forest because of the trees. Like
yeah. What
it's
is it? You're
there,
on top of the mountain, so you can't see the mountain anymore.
but that's it. So, it's, yeah, I like it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm welcome. Thank me. What I mean by that is, I liked that. I liked that we shared it, and thanks for the opportunity.
No, not a problem. Well,
Excellent.
I think that closes out that topic quite nicely. If there's
Yeah,
anything, unless
dog.
you got some follow-up questions, because I know we
No,
were
we've done amazingly.
concerned that we weren't gonna fill the episode, and I think we've done a
We
damn good
have.
job of that.
We absolutely have. Thank you.
So, well,
So, yep. Who
and
introduces the next bit?
I'm gonna jump
You?
in and do it because why not?
Oh,
So,
excellent. Go
in
ahead.
at school this week, so we call this
Brown
section
Bear Skool.
our Brown Bear School. We call
Google
this
it.
our Bear Bites. Yes, definitely give it a Google. School with a K.
School with a K.
Uh
Yes, well done.
We have the holidays coming up, which, we all recognize can be a little bit tricky for members of our community at school. So we're actually going to run a few more fun sessions that foster chat and connection. So I know that I'm going to run some online game sessions using Jackbox and other little online screen sharey fun. There might be some trivia, different things like that. So if you are part of school, log on and have a look and join the Brown Bear Skool and check out some of those special holiday events that will be coming up.
Yes, absolutely. Everyone can join with a free trial for 7 days, and you can quit without paying anything if you don't like what you see. But there is holiday games, there is lessons. I'm currently working on a bit of a revamp so that the $5 experience is even better. But if I notice any of you podcast listeners joining, believe me, I will be there to help you. And within 1 week, there will be a do-it-yourself tour document. There will be a, hey, here's a video guide that shows you everything. I'm going to move away behind some locked doors the client material, and I'm going to put front and center the, hey, $5 people, here's how to start. Here's the basic information. Here's a wonderful experience. Here's some immediate value, including the A Gay Man book download, and the free workshops. And there's going to be a lot of cool stuff, but it won't be overwhelming for $5 people. And, if you like that, stay. And if you really like that, then of course, work with me in coaching. But you're welcome to come and quit if you don't like it. I'm not going to chase you, harass you, or say anything mean. It's not, I'm
Love
not for
that.
everyone, and this is not for everyone. But I really would love hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people to join at just $5 a month. And it is $5 a month because it keeps the unserious, strange people mostly at bay. And I used to run a school for free for a while. We have a couple of hundred accounts that are just dead. And a lot of people had a lot of strange behavior. So it has to be $5.
Yep, that's
Cool.
completely fair and reasonable.
Excellent. Oh yeah, and we had our coffee chats today, and it was really freaking lovely. Someone
It
who is a
was.
free tier member joined and joined in with us. It was really nice. And yeah, Ben was there, a couple of active clients. So there are free events, and there are, yeah. So yeah, come on down. It's cool. It's awesome.
It's good. And we also, just on this topic, we not have Matt Boyles come in and do a bit of a chat, and people were sharing their fitness stories and journeys.
Yes.
And I think, is that session now recorded and up?
Yes, yes, it is. So Matt Boyles at the Queer Fitness Clubhouse, which is another school. I'd love for all of my members to join him and vice versa. Um, he comes in for special chats and we talk about fitness and stuff, which is not a common theme with Brown Bear coaching, but I love having Matt to be there and facilitate that with people. I love that we should be, and I think will be, offering add-ons to each other's clients. So if someone's on a fitness journey with him and they want a few coaching sessions, they can buy them. And if people are on a coaching journey with me and they want some extra specialized personal fitness, then I can heartily recommend them to Matt. And yeah, he drops in and we talked about fitness journeys and bodies. The guys on the call, it was mostly really positive. So it was just like a nice little hangout and exploration of their lives, like a different kind of podcast, actually. But yeah, that is a stable session for now. So yeah, fitness is part of it. Oh, and I'm thinking about, oh God, I'm talking all about Brown Bear today. But I'm renaming or rebranding my initial 3-4 month experience into a thing called Brown Bear Boot Camp. So it sounds a lot like fitness because I've been watching Boots. Me and you have promised to talk
Yes.
about Boots next week, right? Next episode.
I think it's
And
definitely it's on the cards.
yeah, wonderful show. You haven't seen it yet. I have. Going to let you catch up, and we're going to go deep. Maybe it'll be the whole topic for an episode. That'd be cool, I think.
We could do that.
Yeah, so inspired by Boots, I've now realized, like, oh my God, I do a 12-week program, and on the 13th week can be the graduation session, and I can package it as a service and a product that way. So if you see the words Brown Bear Bootcamp around, that'll be what is my core product. And then there will be ongoing coaching after bootcamp if people want to continue.
Love it.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
Cool gay shit, Ben. Cool gay shit.
Cool gay shit. Well, let's slow it down. Let's bring it back. So I have a few little tidbits to wet the whistle this week. I have stumbled upon the Rainbow Collective, and the Rainbow Collective sells artwork. And it was born from the simple truth that queer stories deserve to be seen, celebrated, and hung proudly on every wall. Personally, like, look, I love going to galleries and modern art galleries and different things like that. I visit modern art galleries and I look at things and go, I don't get it, but I like it. Um, Quite often.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things to do. Whenever I go to a city, will find me at a modern art gallery just being confused and in wonder.
Fair.
But I personally love the artwork that's on offer. There's everything from, you know, queer cowboys living your best Brokeback Mountain life to leather, divine drag queens who are just being divas. There's protest posters. There's something for pretty much anyone that would float your boat. And I would highly recommend having a look at the Rainbow Collective. They have a website, they're on Insta, and I have a couple of personal favorites, including Afternoon Sunshine by Jordan, and there's a print called Muscle Love by Andy Sylvester. So have a look at them. Uh,
Oof.
there's some of the ones that I like. And yeah, there's something for everyone to have a flick through.
I didn't know you were into muscled bearded daddies, Ben.
Well, look, we're now learning more things about Ben in this episode.
Damn, that is a hot poster.
I
Um,
know, right?
yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I just looked it up.
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Thank you.
I can see that you highlighted it so that you could copy and paste it into your search engine. I love it.
Shh, don't tell them how it works,
Shh,
Ben. Keep the
shh.
magic alive.
Keep the magic alive. So now, binge-worthy TV, Disney Plus. Check out English Teacher. There's a gay lead. So Evan Marquez, who is played by Brian Jordan Alvarez. The series follows Evan and his colleagues as they navigate the landscape of modern education, balancing their personal lives, professional and political challenges of working in a high school. Now, as I was saying, Evan is gay, and some of the early on episodes, Evan is placed under school investigation after a parent complains about him kissing his boyfriend Malcolm while on school grounds. And this forces him to contend with the school board and some scrutinizing public attention. So I think it's heartwarming. There's some real messages in there, bit funny as well. Well, funny as well. There is comedy involved. Give it a check out. It's Disney Plus English Teacher. So that
Awesome.
wraps up our little bit of cool gay shit for this
Cool gay shit.
weekend.
Nice. Thank you, Ben. Yeah, I just had a look at the Rainbow Collective. So that's the rainbowcollective.co. There is no sponsorship, no partnership at all. We're just
No,
sharing cool gay shit. It does actually look freaking awesome. There's like
I
a leather
know.
daddy smoking a cigar. There's the guy reading a newspaper. There's a lot of cool shit in there. I hope that there's some more like racial diversity, but I get that you got to put hotties on the cover.
Yeah,
And sometimes white hotties are the most marketable hotties. Oh yeah, good. There's lesbians. There's a black astronaut. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Yeah. There's a huge range. Awesome. Just what I would have
yeah.
expected. Cool. The rainbowcollective.co. Get yourself a present or someone else. And the English teacher. I've not watched it. I probably would. I'm just fresh off Boots, so I'm going to take a little breather from heavy gay shows. Which
Yeah.
is Boots isn't that heavy, but yeah, I'll give it a week, and then yeah, I'll hit that up. Thanks, Ben.
Brilliant.
English teacher, Disney Plus. Wonderful. All right, let's wrap up with our fun recurring segments, which is Thirst Trap Theatre. Do you want to go first?
I certainly will. So this little nugget comes from Instagram. I've seen it on many a reel, on many a gay centric page on the Instagrams. Because, that shows my age, doesn't it? Calling it the Instagrams. But my little one is my depression is chronic, but this ass is iconic. Love it. Taking that into the week with me. Might use that
Um,
later on.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Wait, so that's your Thirst Trap Theatre. That's not your
Yeah.
affirmation, because it
Yeah,
sounds
no,
like it
that's
could be
oh no.
both.
I know it could be both. I know. I'm going deep this weekend.
Okay, great, wonderful. Thank you. Um, This one, from my one, it comes from Reddit. I'm just going to keep going back to LOL Grinder because it's bloody hilarious. This is a whole one-sided conversation, all in blue on Grinder. On Sunday, the 9th of November, someone says, "Hey, bro, you like 'em big and brown?" 302-pound Spanish guy here. Would you be down for some RP roleplay? I have a thing for officers. If you want, you can RP as ICE and maybe meet up downtown. Dot, dot, dot. I didn't expect much, to be honest, but the least you could do is just say yes or no, slap my head. Anyway, I'll be at the courthouse tonight if we play in this. Monday, 10th of November. Deport me, puppy. Love heart emoji.
Oh my lord. And there's nothing from the other side, just silence.
No, yeah, it's all just someone has sent them that, and then they screenshotted it and put it on LOL Grinder.
Oh my lord.
Bless. Deportation fetish.
Oh, okay. You know what? If it floats your goat, go for it.
Yeah, if it's consensual RP between two adults, I love it. Go for it.
Oh my
Be the
god.
cookie monster of your dreams.
Well,
Awesome.
speaking of cookie monsters and cookies, Ed, I have
Yeah,
an
yeah.
affirmation to take
Oh,
us out
yes.
for this week.
Uh-huh.
So, deep breath in and out.
Mm.
Just like a website, I too can use cookies to improve performance.
Namaste.
Namaste. And
I'm gay. I'm enough. And that's all I've got today. Provided by ChatGPT. Thank you for those inspirational words, ChatGPT. Always reliable, incredibly shitty affirmations.
yep,
Love it.
look, love that. It's great.
I, I'm gay, and that's all I've got today. I'm enough. Oh my God. Okay. Wonderful. All right. On that highlight, that's it for the week, everybody. By the way, Brown Bear Radio is brought to you by Brown Bear Skool and all things Brown Bear coaching. Find us on Instagram, find us at Brown Bear Skool. Talked a lot about it already, so I'll stop things there. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Wonderful. Well, guys, don't forget to make good choices. Bye.